below zero hits us in life. Built for the cold, you say? That ain't right. Too cold for the average Joe, just right for those who hear the show. In the image of greatness you were made, but taught by the world to be played. A new generation, we're building. No victims, we're creating. Them haters, keep hating, cause Gen Zero, we blazing. Welcome to another episode of the Built for the Cold podcast. Too cold for the average Joe, just right for me and the listeners and viewers of this show, where we're actually wrapping up today. All of you for coming this far, listening to all these different tips and tricks on how to handle adversity, right? Getting in life what you accept, understanding that people are actually more afraid of success than they are of failure, and also just figuring out how to just build consistency, persistency into your life. Why? Because the moment you put those things into motion, it demands of the universe, right, to have infinite intelligence, which is the power and energy of the spiritual realm, right? We talked about spiritual alignment and getting access to the creative, getting access to knowledge that's out there that's going to drastically benefit your life and put you on such a trajectory that you didn't realize how great your life could be. And we talked about all that up until now. And kind of we finished last week on just figuring out how to really build momentum and how momentum is going to work for you either way, whether it's working with you toward your future goals or it's working against you because we haven't figured out how to actually stack habits enough to not prevent that boulder, like we talked about, from going backward. We talked about this before, right? So today, the final thing I want to share with you guys is how do you know you're going in the right direction in your life? What is your true north? The thing that you can just point to. I'm not talking spiritually. I'm just saying, what's the northern point? How do you know which direction to go when you have decisions to make, habits you want to build in your life, things you want to do? There's two things. And they're not going to be what you think they're going to be. Your arrows pointing you in the direction where you need to go is resistance and fear. Think of resistance for a second like friction, right? Think of how does a plane take off? Well, if there's no friction, it never is actually able to get off the ground, the wheels are never able to go, and the friction of the wind is not able to lift it. How does a car start? Friction. From the key to the pistons in the engine to the transfer of energy into the wheels on the ground. So is it fair to say that it actually takes resistance to actually get things started? So many of you see resistance as a reason to oh, I'm getting a lot of resistance in this area. Oh, I'm going to go this way. Oh, there's more resistance here. I'm going to go this way. It's actually pushing through that resistance. What's on the other side of it is the momentum all of you want, is the life and dreams and goals that you want is on the other side of facing your resistance. It's also on the other side of facing your fear. You know what's funny? When we have decisions we have to make, and we're actually looking at all around hey, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. You're only really afraid of how many of those decisions. Really one of them. Of all the different options, you're really afraid of that one decision amongst all your options. And the one you're afraid of tends to be the one you should do the most, because it's the one that's actually going to challenge you outside of your comfort zone the most. Comfortable being uncomfortable, and you're okay in that space. You put yourself in a position that, so contrary to what most people might think, resistance is your director of where to go, and fear is your guide. You have all these different things. The one you're afraid of the most is the one you want to step into to actually change the trajectory of where you currently are. It doesn't matter if it's your fitness. It doesn't matter if it's, your business, your skills in your career, your relationships, where you're at emotionally, where your soul is, all these different things. These are the two things that are going to determine how you move forward, not just through separation season, the end of this year, but going into next year and starting either with momentum in 2026 or without it. And I have a recommendation on books. I don't really do this too often, recommend a bunch of different books, but the 3 books that really help me understand how these two things are at play to really help us get past ourselves, get out of our own way, get out of our own limiting beliefs, the things that we hold dear to us that we don't realize have influenced every single decision we've had up till now. Those are our limiting beliefs and our subconscious. all the negative things we've told ourselves over time, all the reasons why we believe we're not successful, all the different inputs we've taken from either friends, family, people of like why we can't change and move forward to be the people we really want to be. Okay. There's these 3 books. They're by an author named Steven Pressfield, and they're in this order. Okay. First, we have The War of Art, right? Anytime that you're actually building something or doing art, or even if it includes, hey, getting really fit in the gym, there is a war at play. Okay. This talks about what that war is, the tools you need to overcome it. And it talks about leveraging these 2 things to be your guide. Okay. It also talks about turning pro. What's the difference between amateur and professional? How do pros take the last 8 things we talked about, including today, and turn it into something as an asset versus a liability? How does becoming pro in our habits actually turn into something that over time takes less work, takes less energy, and takes less time, and we get even more of the result? That's what turning pro is. And then it's doing the actual work, right? This is all great. You can listen to this podcast. Everything's fantastic. You have all these systems. All right. And then you just freeze. And for whatever reason, you stop and let the fear and resistance overwhelm you. You see this giant thing in the mirror. This is the mirror right here. And you see this giant thing. It's like, oh, I just don't know. Count down to 5. Take the first step. Do the actual work. You will get better and you will find your purpose. See, everyone's like searching for purpose. It's the funniest thing. People are like searching around for purpose. They're trying to find it here. They're trying to find it doing different things. They take on all these fitness competitions. They do whatever random stuff in like their career, jumping around, trying to figure out what their purpose is. You find purpose through actually doing the work that you don't quite understand just yet, because it puts you in a position to actually recognize what Ed Milet calls your proclivities, what you're actually really good at, and also what you enjoy. You find that only through the work, only through action. So I encourage you, pick these 3 books up, not crazy expensive, obviously, at all. And these books will literally give you a mindset and a framework how to use these as your biggest asset. I hope that you guys are encouraged and excited to go out there and get ahead of the New Year's crowd, that even though they feel they're going to be able to make this year different, the fact that they're just waiting until New Year again in the same exact pattern they've had over the past whatever in their life. And if you do things the same way, what do you tend to get? The same result. So I'm proud of you guys. Love you guys. We're here for you, here to help you with other resources, and we'll see you on the next one.
This is where winners learn to be great. Built for the cold, you say? That damn straight. The lessons, the love, the insights from above. Hope you take them and grow, even with another cup of Joe. Thank you for dropping in and listening to the show.